Hello everyone and welcome to class today. So today we're going to be doing a bit of crafts. So today we're going to be learning how to make tote bags. Tote bags like this. You know, the fabric bags is something, it's just something casual that you can carry shopping. You know, you just need to grab something at your nearest supermarket. You know, you just need something to grab. You don't need to grab something at the nearest supermarket. You don't want to carry your bag. Just need something casual. So these are tote bags. So these are made from a piece of soft cotton fabric. It looks like denim. It looks like denim, but this is not denim. This is the denim one, and this one I can actually carry both in either way, whether with the denim or if I want the African print side. So you know I can do it either way. Yeah, and then I have my denim strap. So this is what we're going to be making today. Let me turn this inside out. Let me turn this back inside out. So this is what we're going to be making today. Yeah, our tote bags. This is what we're going to be making today. Yeah, so let me put this aside and show us what you'll be needing. So you need your fabric. So I already cut out my fabric. You need your fabric, you need your tape rule, you need a pair of scissors, you need your chalk, and then you need your pins. So I'm going to show you what measurements I cut out for this one. Yeah, so basically it's still dependent on how you want it to be, like how big you want your bag. So I'm using a measurement of 15 inches by 15 inches. That's the measurement of my fabric. So 15 inches by 15 inches. So I cut two of that, and then I cut out my lining 15 inches by 15 inches also, and then I cut out my interfacing. So for the purpose of this I used the wadding, the soft one, the wadding that you normally use for your bustier cut or your so this is it. So I have two pieces of this, two pieces of my lining, and then two pieces of my fabric. Then for my strap I have this fabric of 3 inches wide by 15 inches wide by 15 inches long, 3 inches wide by 15 inches long. So on this strap I have two of those also. So on this I'm going to be ironing on my paper stay or my interfacing, not the same one with this because it's going to be a bit thicker. So I'm going to be using just paper stay for this. So let me grab my paper stay. I'm going to be gumming it on the whole length of this, and then I'll be gumming my interfacing onto my fabric. Onto my lining. I usually don't like gumming it onto my fabric because after a while, it just begins to get rumpled at the other side. So I'm going to be gumming it onto my lining. So I'll take this down to my machine, to my iron, press it onto it, and then we'll bring it back and we start to sew. So I've given it a nice press. I've added my interfacing onto the fabric for the sleeve, and then for the lining I added my wadding onto the wrong side. So you would notice that my wadding and my lining are not the same. They're not the same. So I just left like about half an inch on all four corners so that I won't have so much of a bulk when I'm sewing. I'm going to be sewing outside of this. So before I begin to join them together, I'm going to cut out a 3-inch box on all four edges. So that's why I'm folding it on each other. So I'm going to be cutting it out straight up. So I'm going to cut a 3-inch square at the edge all around, like so. So just grab your tape roll, make sure that these are equal. So just grab your tape roll, measure 3 inches here. It's not, the 3 inches is not a rule. That's just how wide I want my base to be. So I'm just going to be measuring 3 inches, like so. Yeah. So I'm going to have a box. So now that I have my box, I'm just going to cut that part out, that 3-inch part out, like so. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to have. Yeah. I'm going to have this. So I have 3 inches off here, 3 inches off here. So I'm going to do the same thing to the fabric. Like so. So I'm going to fold it over again, just like I did the lining. So I'm going to be measuring 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, and do 3 inches here also. Yeah. So then I cut it out. Yeah. So once that is done, I take it to my machine and then I would sew. So I'm going to sew this part all the way down, this all the way down, sewing here all the way down. I would sew here all the way down, and then I'm going to sew here across all the way. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to this and that. So I'm going to be sewing, and then down here I'm going to be sewing all the way down, but then I would leave like about 5 inches open that I'm not going to sew. So this is going to mark the space. This is going to be the space where I'm going to be turning it inside out. So I'll take it to my machine and then I stitch it together, and then I'll be right back. So having stitched, like I said, I stitched this side, and then I stitched the side here, and then down here I stitched halfway, and I left this space. So you can see that I have an open space. But here I stitched all the way. I stitched all the way here. Stitched all the way here, and then I stitched all the way at the sides. So this is what I have after stitching. So the next thing we're going to do now would be to sew this place shut. So you would open it up at the side like so. Then you make sure that these sides align. Open up your seams. Open up your seams, grab your pin and hold it in place like so. And then I do the same thing for the other side. Open it up like so. And I open up my seams. Open up my seams on both sides so they can align like so. So this is what it should look like. Yeah? Once we open it up on both sides like so. So I'm going to grab this one too, and then I'll do the same thing. See this corner here? Open it up like so. Do the same thing I did to the main fabric. Grab my pin, hold it together. Do the same thing I did. Grab my pin and hold it together like so. So I'll be taking it to my machine, and then I will sew across and do the same thing for the other one, and then I sew across, and then I grab my fabric also and I sew across like so with just half an inch of, and then I sew across also. Then for the strap, I just fold this into two to get the center like so. Fold it into two to get the center Once I get the center, then I would fold this onto the center, fold this other part onto the center, like so. Once I do that for both, and then I fold it over, so I have a long strip like that. Then I would sew on the edge, on both edges, so that I have a nice clean strap. So I'm going to take this to my machine now, and then I stitch it together, and I will be right back. So I have stitched my sides together, stitched all 4 sides together. Once that is done, and now I'm going to turn my bag inside out and get out the pin for me. And I've also stitched my strap like so. Excuse me. So one side is done. I'll turn my bag inside out. And don't forget to push out the edges. Just push it out like so. Let me grab my scissors to push it out. Push out the edges so that you can have a pointed edge. Do the same thing for here, like so. Okay, so you do that for the outer bag first, and then so the next thing we're going to do now would be to fix the strap. So this is my bag with the sides aligning. I just fold this in two to get the center. I fold this in two. So now that I've gotten my center, I just do a small notch. Yeah, so now I've gotten my center. So this is the center of my bag. This notch here is the center of my bag. So away from the center, I would mark 2.5 inches on both sides. 2.5 there, and that 2.5 here will give me 5. So that's where we're going to put our strap. So I'm just going to mark it on the other side here. Like so. So now that I've gotten the position, I put my strap on either side like so. So I put my strap, and then I use my pin to hold it in place. Make sure that the strap is not twisted. And then I turn it over like so, and then I do the same thing here. Place this on that mark, on my 2.5 inch mark. On either side, and I use my pin to hold it in place. So our bag is taking shape nicely. So now I'm going to take it to the machine again, and then I'm going to stitch, do a few stitches there, and this also, and then I'll be right back. So having stitched my straps together, now that my straps have been stitched together, stitched onto the fabric, I would pick my lining, and then I put my bag inside. And then you have to make sure that the strap is inside the bag. So I put my bag inside my lining such that the right sides are facing each other. The right sides are facing each other. So once this is done, just go to the side, and as usual, you make sure that the sides align, and then I will pin it down like so. Use my pin to secure it, and then I do the same thing to this side, and then use my pin to secure it like so. And then once that is done, I just sew it all the way around. Sew the top all the way around. Just sew it all the way round. I'll take it to the machine, sew it all the way around, and then I'll be back. So I have stitched it all the way round. I've stitched it all the way with the straps inside. I stitched it all the way around. So I've sealed it up completely. I take out my pin at the side. And then the next thing we're going to do now will be, remember the opening that we left at the bottom? So that's why we're going to flip our bag through. So I'm going to turn this inside out now. I'm going to turn this inside out. Turn this inside out. Like so. And our bag is just about ready. Yeah. So once I turn it inside out, I push my lining back inside, because the lining is supposed to be inside anyway. So I push it back inside. Sure all the edges are nice and sharp, like so. So my bag is almost ready. So this is my bag. It's almost ready. So now, where that part we turned it inside out from, now I'm just going to take it to my machine, and then I would stitch it. So I stitch here, and then I would top stitch on the edge here once I'm done with the inside, and make sure that my lining is placed inside, that I don't have me picking out. So I'm just going to run just one stitch all the way down. That will reinforce the edge and also reinforce the straps. So I'll take that to the machine, stitch it together, and then I'll bring it back. So after stop stitching the edge, I even gave it a nice press, took it to my iron and ironed it, and my bag is ready. That's my bag. Looks cute, doesn't it? So let's see you make yours, and let's see you make yours in different fabrics, different sizes. Okay, so let me show you the inner parts that I stitched. So this is what it looks like. Just stitch tiny stitch so that it's not so obvious. And then that's my bag. So if I need to make a quick dash to the supermarket, I'm good to go. My bag is ready. So I look forward to seeing yours. I look forward to seeing yours as soon as you're done with it. So till I come your way again next time, happy sewing.